Hey everybody, today we're going to record a session of creating virtual desktops. And this is in Azure, so in case you haven't noticed, Azure has plenty of options to create virtual machines, terminal services, Citrix, all that good stuff. So what you see here is creating what's called a virtual desktop. Runs on Windows Server 2019. It's basically a Windows 10 multi-session. And what it allows you to do is create a Windows 10 machine with Office or without Office, pre-built, and use it for as many people as you want to log into it. So I've had about maybe 30 people per virtual machine running right now. Each one gets its own session. It's kind of like Windows 10, how it allows one or two people to log on concurrently, admin and user, or usually one kicks the other one out. But this allows 30 or maybe more, depends on memory resources, CPU, and you can just keep adding people, adding resources, and you can just use it to your heart's content. There's two variants of this. The first is a standalone machine where you create all the users locally, which for a small number of people it's pretty good, but as you get larger and larger, you get say you want multiple virtual desktop multi-sessions machines, then of course it's going to take a little bit more resources to manage all these users on individual machines. So what you do is you create a virtual desktop host pool and tie it to your Active Directory. So yes, there are two variants of this. One is a standalone machine, the other one is a tie into your Active Directory. As you can see here, I'm just going through the options and showing you what can be done. So that way you can see pretty how simple it is to get it taken care of. So just it's very similar to creating a regular Azure virtual machine, and then you can keep just plugging away and build it you want. It shows up as your virtual machine. It'll show up in the settings as Windows multi-session virtual desktop. Sometimes it'll show up as Server 2019. All the resources, networking, everything is still the same as a regular one, except that you can get multiple people logging into this machine at the same time, and it's Windows 10. Not like that Windows Server terminal services where everybody has a variant of server and they have to figure out how to get apps to work and this and that and go through the minutia of all this stuff. This way you can create it's a Windows 10 true environment, and I know you can do the same thing with Citrix VDI, but obviously you got licensing and all that other junk that you have to deal with. So you either build your golden image and then you do your read-onlys, or you allow users to make changes, all that other stuff. This is way simpler, and you can spin this up faster if you want. Just say you want 30 people on one machine, you want to make it redundant, East Coast, West Coast, or wherever you're at, geographically, internationally, you can do that, and then just be done with it and not have to deal with it anymore. Or you create two, primary and a backup, and you just take care of it and get it done, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's the beauty of this, is that it helps so much just to get things taken care of. I don't know why you just save something and it says, hey, would you like to save the password? But yeah, so I'm just going through the options here just to set this up. Obviously, made a few little boo-boos and trying to go back and figure out what I typed wrong. It'll get cleared up in a second, but yeah, so this is Azure. Not sure if AWS has anything like this. I'm sure they'll probably have it soon. If not, they already. But Windows Server 2019 has this built into it, so you can build a virtual machine, terminal services, and all that stuff. And I know there's RemoteAPP and Remote Web App running on server, whereas this is just, like I said, it's a Windows 10 virtual machine image, and then you can just use it to your heart's content. So as you can see, there's just going through the options here. There's just, if you're familiar with Azure and virtual machines, it's very similar to everything else, and it looks the same, feels the same. Just the only thing is it is multi-session, so as many people as you want connecting to these things. Like I said, I had about 30 people connecting to one machine. I just moved some other people over to another one just for the fact that I didn't want to throw all my eggs into one basket and have 50 people on one machine and something happens to it. Here's the virtual machine that was previously built. You can see it's a Windows 10, and I'll just go through a few of the little Windows 10, just to show you, it's Windows 10, and how everything looks and feels, and it's pretty snappy. I mean, you can throw a bunch of resources at it and make it pretty quick. You can see the information about it. I'm the only one logged on the machine, so it's pretty snappy right now. And can't really do a one with all the production people on it right now, because obviously it's a production machine. But since it is a standalone Windows 10 machine, you have some limitations. You can't do any group policies, things like that, unless you tie it into Active Directory. So a few things you can do is just prevent users from shutting down the machine. Some local policies you can implement, registry, things like that. You can put your endpoint protection on it, works fine. Your antivirus, things like that. Office is shared, multiple users, so everything works pretty much the same, and users will not notice the difference. Here's the Azure dashboard, just with the monitoring the CPU and the 5 machines that I have set up. Like I mentioned, I have multiple ones, different functions for different people. Just Azure, looking at the information. But anyway, I just wanted to get this out there and let everybody know that there's options when you're building infrastructure. You either want on-premise, cloud, things like that. So obviously VMware, Citrix, Microsoft, they all have their pros and cons, but everything works pretty good. And any questions, put them down in the comments. I appreciate it. Please subscribe if you like it, and I'll do more like this. Thank you. Have a good day. Good night. Thanks. Bye-bye.